Today, we are unpacking a truly incredible journey together. We're going to look at the recipe for a global empire, focusing on a young guy named Jason. And this story is just such a great reminder that massive success doesn't always have to come from, say, a billion-dollar tech startup or some fancy Wall Street connection. Actually, sometimes it's about something much, much closer to home.
So, can a single piece of delivery really change the world? I mean, it sounds totally absurd, right? How could a completely menial, everyday task done by a 21-year-old delivery boy serve as the rock-solid foundation for a massive global enterprise? It kind of challenges everything we think we know about how business empires are actually built. But as you'll see today, the answer to this question is a resounding yes.
This is saying great businesses are built by keeping small promises. Just picture this for a second. Picture Jason riding his old, beat-up scooter through an absolutely massive torrential rainstorm. He is soaking wet, but he shows up at the customer's door with a big smile, delivering the pizza perfectly on time. The customer is totally shocked that he even braved the storm at all. But Jason's mindset is simple, right? A promise should arrive on time, just like the pizza. That right there is his foundational mindset. It's not just about punctuality, it's about this relentless, unwavering commitment to keeping your word, literally no matter the weather.
Let's dive into Section 1, the power of small promises.
Jason realized early on that every customer teaches you something. While he was out making these deliveries, he wasn't just, dropping off food and leaving. He was closely observing everything. He noticed what customers loved, what they complained about, what made them smile. Now, his best friend Ben, who worked in the kitchen, used to laugh at him. Ben would joke, "Hey, are you delivering pizzas or collecting business ideas?" But Jason knew the secret. He knew that out there on the front lines of customer service, you were being handed free market research every single day. You just have to pay attention.
Moving right along to Section 2, character creates opportunity. Okay, so here's where things get really interesting. One evening, Jason finds a super expensive watch outside the restaurant. His buddy Ben whispers that, hey, they could just sell it, make a quick buck, right? But Jason absolutely refuses. He tracks down the owner who, as it turns out, happens to be a very famous restaurant owner named Chef Marco. Well, Chef Marco is just so moved by this honesty that he tells Jason, skills make a cook, but character makes a leader. Marco instantly recognized Jason's raw leadership potential, not because the kid could toss pizza dough, but because he possessed this unshakable integrity.
And because of that one single act of character, Chef Marco invites Jason to become his protege. And he didn't just casually mentor him either. He put Jason through a rigorous, real-world business curriculum. First, they tackled mastering cooking techniques. Next up, learning the really subtle nuances of managing kitchen staff. Then elevating his customer service skills, diving deep into marketing, and finally, comprehensive business planning. I mean, Jason was essentially getting a real-time MBA right there on the restaurant floor, all because he decided to return a lost watch. Pretty incredible, right?
During this whole mentorship, Chef Marco imparted this brilliant insight into human behavior. He said, people don't return because they're hungry. They return because they feel welcome. Think about how profound that actually is. It completely shifts the focus away from just the product, right over to the real psychological driver of customer retention. If you want long-term business success, you have to realize you aren't just feeding people, you are hosting them. You're making them feel seen and valued. That's a real game changer.
That brings us to Section 3, rejecting the quick profit.
So, armed with all this new knowledge, Jason was finally ready to open his own shop. But almost immediately, he faces this major business challenge. This greedy businessman named Mr. Stone comes to Jason with a deal, pushing him to use cheap, frozen ingredients for quick profits. He claims, the customers will never notice. But Jason flat out rejects it. He chooses fresh ingredients and loyal customers instead, telling Mr. Stone right to his face, I want loyal customers, not quick profits. It was a steadfast commitment to building long-term brand loyalty over making a fast buck. And well, it sent Mr. Stone walking away in anger.
Section 4, service beats big budgets. As it turns out, authentic moments create viral growth.
In the early days, Jason's shop was pretty empty. It definitely was not an overnight success. But one day, his friend Ben was goofing around in the kitchen and accidentally flipped a pizza way too high, and it landed perfectly smack on top of Jason's head. The whole restaurant burst into laughter, someone caught the whole thing on camera, and the funny video went absolutely viral. It just goes to show that real, unscripted human joy can drive initial foot traffic far better than any forced sterile marketing campaign ever could.
But of course, then came the ultimate test. A massive, incredibly famous rival pizza chain opens up directly across the street from Jason's shop. His employees are totally panicking. But Jason? He just smiles. Because they might have bigger advertisements, sure, but Jason has better service. And he successfully battled that corporate giant by leaning into superior kindness and undeniable quality. Customers literally kept walking right past the giant billboards of the rival chain and straight into Jason's doors. Why? Because service always beats an advertising budget.
Let's look at our final part, Section 5, Delivering Trust, Serving Hope. 1,000. Let that number sink in for a second. Years later, that small, struggling shop had multiplied into a massive global footprint. Jason owned over 1,000 restaurants around the world. The kid who started out riding a beat-up scooter in the pouring rain had built an absolute empire, simply by refusing to compromise his core values. No shortcuts. A magazine reporter eventually tracked Jason down. They were just marveling at this headline that read, "Former pizza delivery boy builds global restaurant empire." The reporter asked him, what's your ultimate secret? And Jason's response was incredibly profound. He said, I never delivered only pizza. I delivered trust. The pizza, the product, that was just the vehicle. The actual commodity he was trading in from day one in that rainstorm all the way to his 1,000th store was trust.
And when you reach the top, you give back. Jason used his massive success to start a free cooking academy for poor young people. He helped thousands of kids learn the exact same valuable skills that Chef Marco taught him, empowering them to go out and open their own restaurants. He didn't just build a business, folks. He built an entire ecosystem of opportunity.
And bringing it all full circle, his mother, Mother Elena, the one who taught him early on that every single customer deserves respect, she hugged him so proudly and made this beautiful observation. She said, "You didn't just serve food, you served hope." It's proof that business, when it's done with absolute integrity, really does elevate everyone it touches. So, what can we learn from all this? Here are the core takeaways that you can apply to your own professional journey, for sure, no matter what industry you're in. First up, respect every customer. They are your absolute best market research. Second, quality breeds loyalty. Never, ever sacrifice the long-term vision for a quick, easy profit. And third, dream big and work hard, because success is delivered one honest decision at a time. I want to leave you with a final thought to reflect on today. In your own life and in your own work, are you delivering just a product, or are you delivering trust? Implement Jason's integrity-first mindset, and you know what? You might just build an empire of your own. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll catch you next time.